Joseph Harlan. Hello. The man behind the desk greets you with a closed-lipped smile, one you'll find almost never leaves his face, while his superficially good-natured eyes are always focused on you, scrutinizing every motion you make, and seem capable of picking up every single detail, no matter how minuscule it might be. It is an inescapable feeling, and it is making you suddenly become self-conscious of your appearance and behavior. And how will any of that reflect on the interview you are about to have? Welcome, Flyly. I'm Joseph Harlan, and it is a pleasure to meet you. I'd like for us to move on to the reason why you're here, if you don't mind. So, you are interested in working for Cortec? Indeed, I personally think it's an honor and a privilege to work for a company of Cortec's magnitude. Soll ich so hochgestochen tun? Na, warum nicht? Well said. I already like you, he smiles. You might find it surprising, but I'm positive you're the right person for the job I'm about to offer you. Or, as the numerous residents of Core City would say, you dominate it. What exactly is this job you're talking about? I'll be honest with you. Cortec, because of its wealth, status and importance to this city, has numerous enemies trying to bring it down. It's a sad state of affairs, I know, but that's the state of the world we live in. Of course we have our own security forces, however, their effectiveness against more surreptitious threats is quite limited. We are in need of someone who can act as a low-profile agent, is capable and willing, and can accomplish given tasks effectively without ever being associated with Cortec, should it be compromised. Now I must make one thing clear, we aren't talking about any illegal or immoral affairs here or anything similar. We simply seek our safety and the prosperity of Core City, and for that it is sometimes necessary to act in the way I've described. Are you interested? Wenn's nicht illegal ist und nicht unmoralisch, dann habe ich echt nichts dagegen, aber ich glaube, er lügt halt einfach. Weil warum sonst würde er so einen Undercover-Agent benötigen? Aber ich nehme den Job auf jeden Fall an. Notfalls, wenn ich es nicht machen will, kann ich ja immer noch die Informationen irgendwie verkaufen. Über diese Operationen und was weiß ich. Also, ja. Aber ich frage ihn noch ein bisschen aus. How do you know you can trust me? We know we have our ways. Before I accept anything, I'd like to know more about Cortec. He smiles. Of course, Cortec is the premier technologies research and application company in the whole Underrail. Founded by Rupert Simmons, it develops and manufactures a wide range of products and solutions for military, domestic as well as entertainment purposes and more. For instance, we supplied the systems used in the arena as well as designed and manufactured the complex machinery that makes the gauntlet possible. These two alone define Core City as the entertainment capital of Underrail. We are innovative and determined to create a better world for everyone, and in these very troubling times we feel we make a difference. You can count me in. Excellent! Those words mark the beginning of a very important chapter in your life. You are now an employee of Cortec and are free to move around most of the building. Some areas are off limits, of course. You'll be paid for each individual job accomplished. Generously, rest assured. So. And last but not least, your safety is guaranteed within the Cortec building. I can say, I notice you're quite a combat-ready sort of person, but in here you may be at ease. Since that's out of the way, I can say I already have a task for you. Was hast du denn über die anderen Firmen noch zu sagen? JKK? JKK is a large company owned by Gunnar Edstrom. He came to Core City many years ago and delivered something the two other oligarchs needed. Back then the arena was pretty much a local event, but JKK made the first arena match broadcast and over time it became what it is now. Now they control the betting, they transport animals to the arena and much more, I can say. Those try monitors on the streets, trims as they're called, those are being installed and maintained by JKK. Keep one thing in mind though, Agent, there is more to JKK than what I've just told you. Their operatives are capable of doing very, very sickening things, and they have eyes and ears everywhere. Just keep that in mind. Und Praetorian Security? Praetorian Security is owned by Chief Archibald Knight, and it can be considered the dominant security force in Core City, I can say. Still, while they claim they are the best, I have to disagree. They have the numerical advantage. but Cortex security forces have much better training and equipment. Praetorian security is so old-fashioned, but let them have it their way. Of course, all this is between you and me, Agent. I am ready for your first task. For my first task. Good, your first task, Threidi, is to find one of our agents who has recently disappeared. He is known under the Pseudonym... Weiß nicht, wie man das auf Englisch ausspricht gerade. Wahrscheinlich stilles P wieder. Oder? Egal, auch egal. Ich schweife wieder ab. Also er ist bekannt als Raoul. He shows you a picture of a young black man. Take a look at this picture of him. Notice a distinctive scar on his right cheek. He should have returned from his tasks several days ago, yet he stopped communicating with us right about that time. He was last seen entering the core city sewer system. The sewers are not the most hospitable place, I can say, but the faceless are one extra reason why you must take extra care when going there. I want you to find Raoul, dead or alive, and inform me of your findings. In die Kanalisation muss ich ja sowieso noch schauen wegen Cornell und seinen Acid Hunters, oder wie sie heißen. What was he doing in the sewers? He was on a confidential mission, the details of which I can't reveal to you. I'm on the job. Okay. Also das klingt doch tatsächlich schon mal so nicht illegal. Die Türen, in die kann ich rein. Also gucke ich das jetzt doch mal. Jetzt, wo ich hier angestellt bin. Ups, hier nicht. Okay, hier sind irgendwie die Zimmer von irgendwelchen Leuten, Mitarbeitern und dergleichen. Hier ist noch eine Garderobe, wobei die ist wieder verboten eigentlich. Also lasse ich sie auch erstmal. Hier dasselbe, genau. Ein Scientist, der aber nichts sagen hat, Besonderes. Dann werde ich mal kurz quicksaven und dann schaue ich die Treppe hoch. Hier scheint die Forschung zu sein. Ja gut, und mehr darf ich eigentlich nicht. Das hat mir die Freigabe jetzt auch nicht viel gebracht, dass ich hier hoch kann, aber naja, was soll's. Auch nicht wichtig. Mal den Rest des Stockwerks anschauen. Schauen, wenn die anderen Firmen vielleicht ähnliche Angebote machen. Schön viele Quests sammeln und dann alle nacheinander abarbeiten. Hier scheint schon ein bisschen mehr los zu sein. Hier ist die shortische Mission. Kann nirgends sein. Hier ist der Anführer. Hallo. You find yourself in front of a man wearing beautifully ornamented robes. He stands tall and confident with a chiseled face and radiant green eyes most would kill for. What is most striking about him is his unusual stare. It appears to be constant, never changing, neutral. But every time you see it, you perceive it in a different manner. One moment it strikes you as benevolent, wise and even paternal. The other, it makes you feel exposed and apprehensive. He projects his voice without effort and speaks in a calm, non-rushed manner with a slight drag at the end of each sentence. Short is evolution, brother. I am Minister Percival, and I am a member of Institute of Short. Fear us not, for we mean no harm, even though our appearance might suggest otherwise. Warum zieht ihr euch nichts weniger freaky an? Naja, the ropes look pretty neat, don't worry about it. I have nothing to be worried about, but thanks for your compliment, even though neat might not be the term I'd use to describe our uniforms. It's certainly better than disgusting or creepy as we usually hear. He gives you a slight smile. On the other hand, we have an unmistakable and distinct appearance, something we embrace to symbolize the regenerative cycle of Chord itself. Now it lies in deep caverns, formless, rebuilding itself. Once ready, it will manifest into a new, improved being adapted to this world. Our robes honor this alteration, for we too are undergoing change, and once the robes are removed, we will reveal our new, improved form. Das habe ich jetzt nicht ganz verstanden. Chord hieß es ja, war es irgendein größeres Wesen, das sich momentan jetzt wohl in Deep Caverns selbst regeneriert. Good. Sounds interesting. What can you tell me about this Institute of Chord you belong to? Institute of Chord is an institution devoted to Chordism and was founded by Stygian, who first discovered Chord nearly a century ago. Chordism is an ideology centered around Chord, a being that possesses and brings us immense knowledge and is the key to evolving the human race to new heights, literally. Scientific investigation lies behind everything we do. We study the creature and its complete genetic makeup and learn from it. Then we apply the knowledge in practice. Tell me more. Tickled your imagination? Good. Chord exists as a physical being, observable, tangible, yet not able to fully communicate with us in its current state. But it gifted us with its flesh, and through scientific investigation, as I've already mentioned, we discovered that what was previously thought to be junk DNA actually contained a genetic code that serves as sort of a backup for the creature. The explanation is lengthy and requires a bit of time and will. That's fascinating. Glad you're finding it interesting. He makes a brief pause, then continues. You know what? We hold lectures about Chordism here in Core City. If you want to learn more, come and attend one of these lectures. I think that's a more effective way to comprehend the subject. Proven. I met one of your guys in Foundry, but he seemed pretty derailed. If he seemed derailed, then he probably is. I hope you realize that some madman's behavior should reflect on the doctrine of the group he claims to be a part of. If you want to learn about the true magnificence of Chordism, seek me or any other proper Chordist missionary. Okay, have you perhaps been to Hardcore City Bar? Warum kann ich das fragen? Bin mir gerade nicht sicher. I haven't personally been to this place, but some of my brothers and sisters have. It seems very devolved. They do it mostly to discuss Chordism with as many people as possible, which is understandable due to the popularity of it. Devolved? Well, degenerate, decadent. Something that has passed into a worse state. It is a common expression among us Chordists. What I found peculiar, though, is that the missionaries absorbed several local terms here. For example, I've heard phrases like, "that's friggin' hardcore," or "zone out," being uttered by them on a worrying number of occasions. If this trend continues, a certain form of intervention might be necessary. You understand Core City slang sounds very unfitting for a Chordist. What can you tell me about the oligarchy? The oligarchs allowed us to be here under their protection. We are allowed to propagate knowledge uninterrupted. While there are certain matters regarding them which can be commented on, I'd rather avoid doing so. It would be rude to our hosts, in my opinion. Na gut, dann hören wir uns doch mal so eine Lecture an. I'd like to attend the lecture you were talking about. Very well, or as some of us Chordists would say, Apex. We'll be holding a lecture quite soon, in fact. If you wait just a bit for the others to arrive, we'll be able to begin. Okay. Alle müssen stehen. Also der Kult klingt schon ganz interessant. Beziehungsweise es so vom Inhaltlichen her scheint es doch eher eine Forschergruppe zu sein, als Das, was man beim Aussehen vermutet, irgendwie eine religiöse Sekte oder so. Also, ist ja eine gute Truppe, denke ich. Thank you all for taking the time to be here today and for putting your trust in us in the midst of all that has been happening lately in Core City. The corrupted Faceless are known for ravaging everything they lay their dystrophic eyes on, and us Chotists know that very well. We have a long history in dealing with those monsters and have always opposed their foul ways. We understand that during hard times it can be very difficult to put trust in something you're not familiar with. Yet amazingly, more often than not, dire situations are the cause for people to explore alternative options. Believe my words, during this lecture you will receive nothing but absolute, undiluted truth regarding Institute of Chort, Chortism, and what it can offer to you. Let us begin. First of all, I feel it is important for me to say that we are not a religious cult, as we are commonly accused of being. We don't worship imaginary beings, gods, devils, or the like. Our robes do not exist so that we may intimidate. They have a symbolic value, which will be explained later. Everything I tell you during this lecture is based on hard evidence, on research, on scientific investigation. Every claim here is backed up by careful and extensive research performed within Institute of Chort, under the watchful eyes of Edin, its founder. But what is Chort exactly? Chort is a single multicellular organism discovered by Edin almost a century ago in deep caverns, and is suspected to be one of the oldest living organisms in existence, a primordial being. It is completely formless. It exists in a state of regeneration, which it undergoes whenever the environment it lives in greatly changes, requiring a different form to survive. Edin discovered it during its current regeneration cycle, and the creature allowed him to study it. What he learned during these studies was truly magnificent. First, I need to discuss the term non-coding DNA, sometimes referred to as junk DNA. Non-coding DNA, in simple terms, are DNA sequences of an organism which do not encode protein sequences and therefore have no direct biological functions. For example, almost 98% of human DNA is non-coding, with only around 2% of the total genome being responsible for what you are, how you look, how you behave. Short, only 0.5% coding, but there is a neat little secret. Its non-coding sequences serve as a sort of biological backup for the creature to rebuild its coding DNA. If damaged by radiation, mutations, or simply by a large number of replications, and modify and also adapt it for specific needs. In short, it can undergo a process of regeneration and adaptation, until it builds itself anew and perfects itself for the world it lives in. Edin found this remarkable, and what is even more is the fact this knowledge allows us to do the same thing with humans as well. Institute of Chort was soon born with a single unified idea: to direct the evolution to the human race. Chortists' ideology reflects just that. We will preserve Chort and valuable knowledge it bestowed on us, so that we can bring ourselves to new heights. We live in a desolate world, and the environment is not our only enemy. Just look at the recent events and you will understand my point perfectly. Institute of Chort gravitates towards adapting the human race to move beyond these dark caves and reach the surface. Again, everything I just told you can be backed up with solid proven facts. Chort is evolution and evolution is Chort. One cannot go without the other if we are to stop ourselves from ultimate demise. And with that, I will end this short lecture. I know you have many questions, brothers and sisters, and know that these questions can and will be answered. To get to these answers, one would need to travel to Institute of Chort in Upper Underrail and become a Chortist. Only then can you have the access to all knowledge we possess and help us further understand Chort to help not just us Chortists, but our whole race. Please understand that Chort is important to us, and so it is to you, and we must propagate this knowledge to all who are willing to listen. As Edin once stated, we can, and we must. I hope you've learned some valuable information during this lecture. This is all for now. Thank you, and Chort guide you.